All you want is my hunger. All you need is my pain. Nothing in between ever met your love. When you were born there was thunder, fire lit in the sky as to lead astray. Now heavy rain pours out of you and me. Come back, rain. Come and ease this obsession. Full force dispossess. Come and quiet this aggression. If we met in a year or two.
Live.
That's nice.
Happy with the hair?
No.
You're not?
No, it's annoying me at the moment. It's frustrating me.
Okay. Afternoon, everybody.
Hello!
So today we are making or putting together our video that we filmed in the week just gone. We planned to make a load of films in this break because we don't have many kids around from time to time, so we had a few days here and there. That went completely pear-shaped because we ended up visiting that part of the family, this part of the family, that part of the family, which is all good. One such day we did manage to get out and about, and we went down to Dorset direction, didn't we? Mm-hmm. On the way we stopped off with my sister to see my other sister. On the way we stopped off at Dinton.
Yep.
Dinton?
Dinton.
In the search of potentially 4 military railways. We knew we weren't going to get to see them all, and we didn't really want to see them all. One in particular we did want to search. We'll list them just here. Number 1, RAF Baverstock Depot, which was right next to Dinton Disused Station. Served a small military area. Not of a huge interest to us because I don't think there's anything left of it now whatsoever. So we moved on very quickly from Dinton. We didn't stop at RAF Chilmark. Now RAF Chilmark is essentially a disused quarry pre-1935, a limestone quarry. And there are 100 videos on YouTube of people flying drones over there because it became quite an important military, I want to say, ammunition depot. I think there was a nuclear bunker close by, and as I say, people have done it to death. You can even look on the Urban Explorer website where they posted a lot of photos when they broke in, and the owner posted. I wrote down what the owner actually posted on their website and put. Yep. Now used by a charity which does international search and rescue and uses the building to crawl around in. The issue is that some of your guys' cost of the fencing means that the charity has to pay to get it repaired. This is getting rather costly. That's it in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. That's why we don't do urban exploring. We would rather search for old disused railways and disused landscapes and learn why those landscapes are the way they are today.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's number 1 and number 2, and the reason why we didn't really look for number 1 and number 2. Number 3, however, was the purpose of the day, which was Fovant Military Railway. Right, so we're just heading down to the corner of this field. We've just passed the corner point on the road, which will overlay now, and we think this is pretty obvious. This is the old railway line, the tree line. So we should take a nose. So we've just walked along what is a private road.
Oh, yeah, you know what we did?
Oh, even better. Right, and we thought okay, right. We've inadvertently come off of the bridleway. The bridleway went across the field, which was waterlogged and bogged, and the old railway line went just to the south of it. But when we got to the other end of it, it said private land. However, Susan has found, hey, the bridleway. Oh, there's the stye there.
Yeah,
right.
There's a gate.
Brilliant. Oh, look at that, look. Now tell me that's not a 100-year-old gate.
It's pretty old.
I bet it's even older, isn't it? So, opened in 1915, Fovant Camp, which is 2 or 3 miles, maybe 4 miles south of Dinton, became quite a prominent camp. I believe that 20,000 soldiers were stationed there, so it was fairly obvious that railway would be the ideal to serve the camps in terms of all aspects of
transportation,
and
movement,
indeed, of soldiers and supplies and all sorts. So they did build the railway in 1915, which opened on the 15th of October in 1915. I believe it was 2.5–3 miles long, and we went in search of that to see if there was any remnants, because there was quite a lot of areas where we could walk around. So we parked up in a few different spots and had a nose around. Right, so we're still following the line north to back to its destination at Dinton. So we headed from Fovant and now we're heading north towards Dinton. And trying to keep track of the bridleway is obviously easier said than done, but we are giving it a good go. And we're now back on the bridleway, and the railway itself is just the other side of this bramble here. So right there is what was later built after this railway. When this railway closed in 1924, what was later built there, which we'll discuss at some other point, is the 1936 built ammunitions store, which obviously had a narrow gauge railway, extensive narrow gauge railway, again from Dinton railway station. There was obviously a transfer point at some point from the heavy gauge, standard gauge, to the narrow gauge. Dinton ammunition store, another storage area, this time obviously with the Second World War, was almost at the start of the Fovant Military Railway on the curve. We'll show you a drone shot of the area. And it's now used as another storage facility because it's obviously perfect for that. We did get in touch with Dinton Storage Limited with a view to potentially having a look at the site if they would allow that. At worst, if we could use perhaps some of their pictures, because they've got lovely pictures posted all over their website of the area, a live current website, and so we asked permission to use some of their photos at the very worst because we thought that would be perfect. But they point blank refused and said, owing to the nature of what they store there now, which I think was imported goods before people had paid for them.
Yeah, customs
storage. They said, no, you definitely can't look on site. So, okay, that's absolutely fine. And we would rather you don't use, they actually said, we would rather you don't use our photos. And again, absolutely fine, completely respect that. But they've got their phone photos all over their website. So, okay. There we go, this is life. Right, so as with the other light railways, the military railways that we've discussed, often they would find every contour of the land to avoid excessive costs in making cuttings, embankments. However, there is a fairly, I say substantial, it's probably about 15 feet, but that's quite a rarity from the military railways I've seen before, where they do actually have an embankment as such. And the embankment follows this field all the way along here. You can see it there. I guess it's 10 feet maybe there. But still, it's an embankment, and normally from the ones I've seen before, they didn't have those. They just sort of hugged every possible contour of the land they could. Right, we're now at the edge of this field, and we're now going north into the next field, where we've just seen a whole bunch of deer.
Set your eyes on me, wear your heart on your sleeve, nothing in between. We'll come back correct. Coming east is obsession. Full force dispossessed. Coming quiet is aggression. Some say love must hide too.
So that's as far as we're going to go in terms of heading north on this Fovant Military Railway. The corner point just there, that's obviously where the later built ammunition store was, ready or preparation for World War II. And yeah, the north side of that was where the Fovant Military Railway was built, obviously predating that. And we've now followed the line all around this top curve. And yeah, it's been interesting. There's been a few embankments, a small cutting, not of any great significance, but enough to be a little bit different from other military railways, which is good. There's a few sort of metal posts along this stretch here, which I'm guessing are original posts because they're very well rusted and look completely out of place. So that's good. And obviously the kissing gates as well. The kissing gates, whether they even predate the original railway, I don't know. I'm not a historian in terms of old ironworks, etc. But they do look, I would suggest, pre-1900, based on some others I've seen in Hampshire, built by Tasker, I think. This is where we originally were, where it says there's a bridleway right across the middle of this field. The actual railway which is there, you can see the embankment. That's the way we came north, and when we got to the end of that, just there, it said private, no entry. So we thought we'd done the right thing by circumnavigating the farmer's field, but obviously we hadn't, so we're now walking back across the field, and it's a bit silly really because there is zero bridleway or zero pathway at all. So we're trying to walk along some tyre tracks.
You were starting.
I thought you were starting. Right, so we just finished the northern part of that section of the line where the line started. It came round down.
Then we decided to go a little bit further along. I think it was, wasn't it?
Further down, yeah.
Further down,
south.
and then see if we can explore any other bits. So we ended up going up this massive embankment.
Yeah, that was
walking up it, and it was huge.
Yeah, so that's nearly at that's the southern end of the village of Fovant. To see if we could see any more of the railway, because apparently a footpath where you could go, so we decided to go up that. Oh my god, this is steep, you look. It's all burned off all the sausage rolls from yesterday. I think it's pretty obvious that this is it. Oh god. So we've come about half a mile down from where we were parked, and we're now still in Fovant on the east side, up the very big hill, and obviously that's someone's back garden. But as you can see, the line went this way, from the north down south, and through those trees through that way there, and then head and look at the Fovant badges thereafter.
Yeah, that's the first time we really noticed them, wasn't it, when we were at the top and you could see the first couple you could see up on the hill.
Right, just come up that last bit of hill there where the railway is there. So the railway then went south for another half mile, curved round the front of this valley, and you may not be able to make out, but obviously you've got the Fovant badges on the other side of the valley on the hill. Yeah.
And then we were driving along afterwards, and then they just all appeared as we were going along.
Which I think, again, I'm no military historian, but I think the Fovant badges were built by the troops originally in the First World War, so it would have been prevalent and relevant to the video we're making now.
I know there were a lot more, weren't there, to start with, that I do know.
Yeah.
And then some of them have just sort of faded away, and others they now keep on top of them and they look after them.
Right, so that's it for us for today. That was us exploring the Fovant Military Railway. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. It wasn't a big video, but it was a little explore from us.
It was a gorgeous day though.
It was a lovely day. We got some amazing shots, didn't we?
Foggy, but really sunny and lovely.
Yeah.
We were very lucky.
We shall be back next week with either an Every Disused Station or a Hidden Railway Relics or another railway short or a A303 Secret of or something.
All depends what we get a chance to go and film.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, notification bell.
I'm sure there's 4 in there. Like, subscribe.
Something else. Yeah, leave comments below because we like comments. We like chatting to people. Yeah, thanks for watching. I was going to film the finale. The end. Okay.
Not that kind of finale.
No.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's a bit awkward.